Dear audience, I offer respectfully my warm greetings to all of you, and I hope you feel fine. It would be my pleasure and honor to meet you, though it's a virtual conference. I'm so much grateful to you since you would pay attention to this presentation. A theoretical model of hope for learning English as a foreign language is the title of this presentation. A significant number of EFL learners in the Iranian context continuously shared their experience of low hope for learning English with the others. They thought to themselves whether the low hope of the learners for learning EFL could be improved and how it might be possible. But what is hope? Hope is a human experience. Therefore, it seems that all people are familiar with its meaning. However, in the strict sense, hope can be scientifically conceptualized in terms of its immediate context because it acts specifically. Additionally, hope has been acknowledged as a significant resource for academic achievement. But to the best of our knowledge, as far as second language learning is concerned, no conceptualization of hope has been institutionalized in the field. Scientifically, the contemporary theories of hope, particularly those within the field of positive psychology, indicate a turning point in conceptualizing hope. Moreover, research on hope to date has tended to focus on exploring it from cognitive, emotive, and social perspectives. Given the cognitive view, research on educational hope constitutes an important part of the literature on hope, conducted by several scholars in their respective contexts. Research into the effects of interventions on hope level based on Snyder's cognitive model has revealed increases in academic achievement. Moreover, concept analysis of hope and the measurement scales of hope are other sources of the literature on the subject. The present studies set out to explore the precise meaning of the term hope categorically with regard to its Iranian EFL context. This study was also aimed at exploring the way hope develops in this context. The following questions were addressed in this study. 1. What are the components of hope for learning EFL within the Iranian EFL context? 2. How are the identified components of hope for learning EFL interconnected to each other within the Iranian EFL context? The present research adopted an exploratory mixed methods research design. GTM for qualitative phase and survey for quantitative phase of this study were used. In-depth interviews with the research participants generated the source of primary data in the qualitative phase. Reviewing the relevant literature on the research topic provided the secondary data source. To jointly collect and analyze the data qualitatively, theoretical sampling was used to provide a purposive sample of participants, and constant data comparison technique revealed the theoretical saturation of data. Based on the results obtained from the qualitative phase of the study, a Likert-type questionnaire of hope for learning EFL was designed, piloted, and tested in the quantitative phase of the study. 5 advanced level adult learners of EFL made up the experienced interviewees of this grounded-based study. A sample of 30 EFL learners participated in the piloting phase. A convenient sample of 330 EFL learners participated in the testing phase. After each interview session, they were transcribed verbatim and served as a Word file document to analyze the participants' perspectives more closely. Open coding, axial coding, and selective coding were done to analyze them. The validation of the coding data were judged, and a two-step approach including piloting and testing was adopted in the quantitative phase. The measurement models and structural equations models of this research were analyzed statistically using SPSS and Amos graphics softwares. 7 main components, including interpersonal relationship, goal setting, source, social purpose, emotion, certainty, and anticipated effort, emerged as the underlying components of hope for learning English as a foreign language. 47 concept indicators of hope for learning EFL emerged during the coding process. Intracoder and intercoder reliability tests confirm the reliability of the coding data. The relationships between the identified factors underlying hope for learning English as a foreign language were developed. Finally, the qualitative theoretical model of hope for learning English as a foreign language emerged. The qualitative theoretical model of hope for learning EFL demonstrates that there are different paths to hope for learning EFL. The path to the development of hope for learning EFL starts from the factor interpersonal relationship and ends with the anticipated effort component. Further, this process indicates that the emotion factor mediates just the path starting from the goal setting factor and leading to the certainty component. Moreover, as you can see in this figure, certainty as a core factor was discovered, and the relationships between the components were explored qualitatively. Reliability of the 46 items of hope for learning EFL was confirmed in the pilot phase. Reliability of the data gathered from the 309 completed questionnaires of hope for learning EFL during the testing phase was confirmed. The statistical analysis results confirmed validity of the scale. The results of the KMO revealed the sampling adequacy. The measurement models of hope for learning EFL were estimated and tested. The final conceptual framework of hope for learning EFL was confirmed. The structural equation models of hope for learning EFL were estimated and tested. Finally, the final theoretical model of hope for learning EFL was developed. The final measurement model of hope for learning EFL reveals that the goal-setting component indicates the least exploratory power rate than those of other components, including the interpersonal relationship, the social purpose, sources, emotion, certainty, and anticipated effort. The final structural equation model of hope for learning EFL confirms the qualitative findings. It confirms the 7 identified factors. It also verifies that the process starts from the interpersonal relationship and ends with the anticipated effort factor. This figure illustrates the paths representing 12 hypothesized relationships. 3 of the 12 relationships are between each of the latent variables of certainty, interpersonal relationship, and social purpose, as well as the latent construct of anticipated effort. 5 of the total relationships are between each of the latent variables of source, goal setting, interpersonal relationship, social purpose, and emotion, as well as the certainty construct. The 3 hypothesized relationships are between the latent construct of interpersonal relationship and each of the latent variables of social purpose, goal setting, and source. The last hypothesized relationship is between the latent variable of goal setting and the emotion construct. As the figure shows, the latent variables of certainty, interpersonal relationship, and social purpose constructs have meaningful effects on the anticipated effort construct. In the same way, the latent variables of interpersonal relationship have positive and meaningful effects on the social purpose, goal setting, and source constructs. Additionally, the observed variables of source, goal setting, interpersonal relationship, social purpose, and emotion have meaningful effects on the certainty construct. Likewise, the observed variables of goal setting have positive and meaningful effects on the emotion construct. As the final theoretical model of hope for learning EFL illustrates, the direct effect of the interpersonal relationship factor on the anticipated effort is weak. This means that the source, social purpose, and goal setting variables need to effectively play their mediating roles to result in developing the hope. Once this path is mediated by the factor certainty, it will have the greatest impact on achieving it. 7 main categories, including interpersonal relationship, social purpose, goal setting, emotion, certainty, source, and anticipated effort, make up the underlying structures of the hope in the theoretical model. The process of hope for learning EFL begins with the interpersonal relationship and ends with the anticipated effort. Moreover, certainty was identified as the core concern of EFL learners' hope. It refers to the extent to which EFL learners have definite evaluations of their developed hope for learning EFL. It was revealed that the sure about tied to the certainty category is the most influential item influencing the development of Iranian EFL learners' hope, while the least include the item get major things linked to the goal setting variable. The results can raise awareness of educational managers, instructors, and learners of the EFL or ESL about the importance of the topic. It can be followed by designing intervention programs of hope for learning EFL to improve the EFL learners' levels of hope. The results can be utilized by curriculum evaluators and program developers desiring to evaluate the effectiveness of the foreign or second language education programs. Finally, the findings of this study lay the foundation on which further research into the subject may be conducted in the future. Since items linked to the goal-setting category related to hope for learning EFL measurement model indicate the least overall impact as compared to the items tied to the other components, it is proposed as a theme that requires further examination in future research. Contrary to what may seem at first glance, the weak explanatory power of the religious beliefs item in developing hope for learning EFL can be the subject of further research. Doing research on this topic in the second or foreign language contexts of other countries and comparing their results can provide researchers with a more complete knowledge about the subject. Applying the measurement scale of hope for learning EFL, if necessary, can lead to further refinement of the measurement scale of hope for learning EFL. Finally, it may be suggested that future research focus more on explaining the reason why the observed variables such as classmates, friends' role, social values, religious beliefs, and spirituality have less influence on developing hope for learning EFL. Thank you very much.